I am the lead church planning strategist with the Alabama Baptist State Board of Missions.
Hey, I got a question.
Yes.
So I thought Periscope you had to do the other way. You can do Periscope like horizontal now?
Yeah, you can do horizontal now.
Really? I did. Hi, Periscope. I'm famous on Periscope.
Are
Because
you?
I did the first roller coaster ride on Periscope. I put it in my pocket right here, and I went on the SeaWorld, like loop-to-loop thing, and I got like a gazillion views. But I'm terrible at
See,
Periscope.
this is exactly why we have Ed Stetzer
That's
doing
funny.
this.
But no, you were getting serious there. But you can Periscope's fun.
That's fine. We can
Hey,
Periscope about anything. Ed and I go back longer than either one of us
Long
want to
time.
admit.
He had hair. Well, no, you didn't have hair then.
No, I didn't have
Yeah,
hair
exactly.
then. But Ed's been our speaker tonight for the Alabama Church Planner Network dinner, and he did an awesome job. And I want to
Awesome,
thank
he
you,
says.
Ed, for coming.
You are very kind. It's good to see you. Good
It's
to be in
see
Alabama.
you. It is. First time you've ever
But is
been
this
in Alabama.
really, well, the Alabama Baptist, I've been with the Pentecostals. and
Oh, you've been in
others.
the Pentecostal
Yes.
group before?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad you got your heart
Alabama
right.
Church of God. We had a good time.
Yeah.
That was when the ice storm came through.
Really?
Yeah, I had to spend the night basically in a Denny's.
Wow.
But I made it to the meeting and it was a good time. Brought my daughter and her dog, which in hindsight was not a good idea because the dog had to stay outside the Denny's. But I don't like the dog, so that's a plus.
Oh my
So
goodness.
anyway, little off subject, but good to be. But we're hardly in. We're almost like in Florida.
That's right. That's right.
How far are we from Florida right now?
I don't
About
know.
20,
20
miles.
20 miles?
Something
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, so this is like the Gulf Coast.
It is.
All right.
It is. It's a
I've been to
different-
Decatur, I know, and Birmingham, I know. I'm a graduate of Sanford. You know that?
Yeah, I know.
There you go. All
I
right, sorry.
know
All
that.
right, we got to
I knew
We're supposed to talk about something other than being smart aleck.
I really appreciated what you said tonight about systems because I've been here almost 3 years, and that's one thing that I've really immersed myself in.
Yeah.
And somebody years ago did some study. You may know about it. That if a planner is assessed well, trained well, and coached well, he has an 85% success rate after the 4th year. I think you may have done that study.
You know, 87% of statistics are made up on the spot, but that sounds like a reasonable statistic to me.
Well, I have based my ministry
Yes.
on all of that, so I hope it's correct.
I think it is a derivative statistic, but I think that there's truthiness to that statistic.
Absolutely.
So stick with that.
Absolutely.
Stick
Well,
with it.
we are trying to do that. Who does the best job of assessments that you know about?
Like what denomination?
Well, any organization you know about.
I like the PCA does a good job at their MNA, PCA Presbyterian Church America, Ministry North America. So we sent our church planner to there. NAM is about to ramp up some assessment centers. I have a lot of enthusiasm what they're doing because it's
That's
a
with Mac Lake.
yeah, it's a
and the
step.
work that
It's
he does.
a great step forward because Southern Baptists have typically only done the 4-hour Ridley that we were trained in, which is good. It's good.
Yeah.
But you're going to invest that much resources in church planner, you need more than that.
Right.
And so, but also CPAC, Church Planning, not church, was it Church Planning Multiplication Center? Who's the one? The Restoration Movement does one. The Independent Christian guys do one. I can't remember the name of their Church Planning, CPAC, Church Planning Assessment Center. And what I would say is, the Lifeway Church Planning Assessment is sort of the gold standard of a validated test that,
Okay.
because you don't want to send a bunch of church planners to weekend assessments, and that's a lot of money. You want to screen a bunch of them for that. So we're kind of a pre-screen.
Well, you guys do a great job with the pre-assessment.
That's what we want to do. We don't want that to be the assessment.
Yeah.
But what we find is we'd like to knock about 25 to 30% who will take that and screen themselves out.
Right.
And that saves you a lot of time. Because if you got to do an hour with every person who's interested, or 4 hours, or the weekend, that's a lot of resources you don't need to do.
Now we do the assessment, which we're working on doing some upgrades for now. But we also do, I've edited the old basic training material.
No, it's really good.
And we've created something called Alabama Church Planning Basics.
Nice.
Which is more the videos are most all about Alabama church
Nice,
planners,
sure.
and it's really a
Relates
good
better
thing.
to the home field here. And
Yeah, I'm really pleased with the
You should be.
contextualization.
I love that because church planning in New York's different. You were in New York and Pennsylvania.
Absolutely.
It's different there than it is here.
Absolutely, and then we have my son Tommy doing coaching networks. We have 6 of those going across the state that follow up with that. How would you suggest that we think about? I know you haven't done an exhaustive study of all of it, but does those sound like they're in the right ballpark?
Oh, no question. So we got assessment, and you're still working on that.
Yeah,
So it
I'm
sounds
working
like
on
that's
that
one
right
that's,
now. I've just put it all in place.
I would love
last
to get
week.
to an assessment center level for fully funded or heavily
Yeah,
funded church
right.
planners. Now, again, I haven't been really involved in the denominational stuff. So,
Right.
so Alabama So NAM is sort of doing the cities and outside of the South primarily.
Right.
And so you guys are developing your own systems that sort
Exactly.
of, okay. So I would want to see an assessment center. I would want to see thresholds, levels of assessment. Bivocational church planners who you're not funding, I don't know that you need an assessment center. So find pathways. But when you're going to have a lot of investment, say some church is putting in a lot, state's putting in a lot, send them away for a weekend, get them an assessment. That may be something still to develop. The Church Planner Basics sounds great. The Alabama Church Planner Basics sounds great. The coaching network, is that like meeting monthly, regionally?
They meet monthly. There's usually 6 to 12 guys, and they meet together for 4 hours once a month. It's kind of a pull-away time, so you can kind of get on the balcony and spend some time meeting some other guys and sharing your good news for this month, and also the pressure points that you're facing. And we deal with those, but we also have it's designed for 2 hours of training and 2 hours of coaching and dealing with wherever they are in real life.
Like peer coaching, because it's a group of them. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Really good.
Oh, that's solid. And that's one of the things because Alabama Baptists are the size of like the Evangelical Free Church or the Wesleyans. So you basically are a national denomination in Alabama. So to have those resources, to be able to have a coaching person, 6 regions, that's key. And people can build, because lower Alabama, LA is different.
That's right.
Certainly the Northeast, right? So finding those things in regions, that to me sounds like a developed system. I don't know your reporting structure, so you don't have some sort of reporting structure for funding.
That's what we're working on right now. We just launched with Brian in our office. Has helped us a great deal with the idea of
Brian, the man running the camera right now.
Brian, the man running.
Hey,
the
Brian,
camera
good to
here.
see you over there.
Brian,
you should wave where we see
Brian's
you on
helped
this
us with the website that you saw the screenshot of tonight. He's helped develop that, and we want to add to that some more reporting mechanisms and even some tracking system stuff.
Yeah, and if you can mechanize that, that just helps. We're developing something for NAM that will do with that state conventions can use as well.
Okay.
I think ultimately, Joe Hernandez, Joe.
I know
Joe, I think he's with City Team now. Joe said something that I wrote in my dissertation like a decade and a half ago. He said, they're not church planting systems, they're church planter systems. It's making sure church planters are taken care of. And George Klippenis at the E-Free puts it this way: no church planter left behind. And that's what I love. And you've got the capability with a robust command. Rick Lance got a passion for church planting here, brought you in from New York, stole you from New York, really.
Yeah.
And really, because you did all the work you could do in New York, the work was done. So you
Not
can't.
exactly. Not exactly.
But the fact that you would
There's
come,
still a little bit more to do.
a couple more churches to be
28 million people.
Yeah, but the fact that you would leave New York to come here, you didn't just do that because you thought, well, I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing nothing. There's a great need to re-evangelize Alabama with church plants, because what's happening is we're seeing a generational shift, we're seeing a greater ethnic diversity, migration, and more. So the opportunity, I think, is great.
Absolutely, and God is blessing. We've seen over 50 churches planted in Alabama. We sent 12 men out to other states.
Really?
To plant churches.
That's
we
awesome.
should.
That's awesome.
We had men in this room tonight.
Yeah.
Who are actually about to go to Montana and go to
awesome.
New York and other places to plant churches.
Yeah. So how many Alabama Baptist churches are there?
3,286.
3,286. Gosh, that's amazing to me. So it's again, literally, it's bigger than the Wesleyans and the Evangelical Free combined, right? So don't miss that. Okay. All right. So what you want to get to, and you know this, is you want to get to 3%. Yeah. And so right now you're at 50 churches. You want to get to 100 to get to that 3%.
Exactly.
So
we've got a long way to go.
We've got a way to go. But still, that's good. You're making progress.
We're making progress.
Particularly in the Old South. This is an Old South state.
Right.
Where you got an uphill battle to convince people you even need church plants.
That's right.
Does Andalusia, Alabama really need another church plant? Yes. Now here's a fact that no one else is going to know. When I was finishing planting in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I was doing my doctoral work at Samford, I looked at planting a church in what's just south of Hoover. I can't remember. Pelham, Alabama. Because I was just driving here, and we just drove by.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah.
Pelham, Alabama.
Pelham, Alabama.
How about that?
I didn't look long. I don't think this Yankee would have been killed down there. But it was a rapidly growing community.
It is.
Yeah, so I looked at Pelham, Alabama. So.
Well, you reconnected tonight with Danny Lovett.
Yeah,
and Danny's planting in that area.
I didn't know he was in Pelham.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, he's in Chelsea Westover area.
So if my daughter comes to Samford, which is on the short list,
Yeah.
Got several churches. I had several church plants
Yeah,
come
I
up
told
midnight.
you. I knew
If
you.
she wants to be involved in a church plant, if she comes down to
That's right.
Alabama.
Yeah, Danny
So-
would be a good one. They had 300 in the last few weeks.
That's
they
crazy.
Just bought 90 acres.
And he told me the 300, and they also like seen 200 people come to faith because Danny is about sharing Jesus.
Absolutely.
He's all about
an
sharing
evangelist.
Jesus. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, listen, Ed, I really appreciate you coming, and you have boosted and gotten us farther down the field in planning than we would have been without you
Thank you,
coming.
brother.
And I want to thank you for coming.
Good to see you.
Pretty
Old
good
friend.
to see you. Yeah, that's
Old
right.
friend. Old being the key thing
Old
for both
is
of us.
right. That's
Old
right.
as dirt, but friends.
Yeah, how come you keep your hair though? I don't know how you do that.
Oh, transplants? I don't know. No, this is it's a lot thinner than it used to be. You were bald in your 30s.
I know. I've been bald most of my adult
Yeah,
life.
okay.
That's right.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Gives a nice shine and gleam to it.
That's
Anyway.
right. Yeah, it does. That's right. I appreciate you,
Thanks,
brother. All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank-
Peace.
Yeah, thank you.